Mkhulu Ammer. We're back again, part 2.
We're eating chips.
Yeah. This is a podcast. It's
Sure.
we're not scripted. So, Umdao.
Yeah.
Please speak about Umdao. Who is Umdao? Because you hear the word a lot. Umdao. So, who is Umdao? According to Mkhulu Ammer.
So I'm going to speak about my umdao
Yeah.
and my process.
Yeah.
So Mkhulu Ammer is from my mother's lineage.
Yeah.
Mkhulu Ammer was a prince,
Yeah.
and he belonged to the Al-Alawi tribe. My mother is from the lineage of the Al-Alawi. They are from Saudi Arabia. The meaning of Amir is leader or prince, like Amakosi. Yeah. So Ndao is a spirit from the waters. Yeah. Yeah. And as in Western philosophy, they would say a mermaid, I suppose, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And there are also spirits that are in the ancestry of the South African shamanism or sangoma.
Yeah.
Initiation process, are spirits that either interacted or are foreign with either people from Southern Africa or were traders in the time, or during that time, or in the past, I should say.
Yeah.
And this is how they spiritually interacted with the region, and of course that's how the connection happened. However,
how are they connected to
for
the
me,
water?
Yeah. Before I get to that one, how they connected to the water. For me, I feel, because I had already connected with my Lozi even going or before going into Twasana.
Yeah.
And I had connected with my Lozi doing different forms of spirituality.
Yeah.
I feel that when I went into Twasa and that connection or that Lozi came again, I should say again.
Yeah.
I feel that it was a connection that needed to happen in this particular way, more than the theory of how these connections happen. I really don't understand how these connections really happen in terms of the breakdown of the teaching of let's say African traditional religions or African tradition. I saw it as a spiritual connection that happened because of a place I needed to be in my spiritual journey. And the reason that I needed to be in that place in my spiritual journey is I needed to connect.
No problem.
I needed to connect so that I could be relatable, number one, to the people.
Yeah.
Had I been in another place in the world and that connection happened, I would have followed a path in how they would do
Doing,
it.
yeah, the way of
Right?
doing things.
Yes. Besides needing to be relatable, there's also a sense of what about how do you work in a spiritual sense with people or herbs, or get guided if they're not synonymous to the region that you're in. They're not there for you to use to heal people. And there's something else that we need to understand, is that all forms of spirituality that require you to go through an initiation, or that you go through an initiation process, which I then go back to, which I call shamanism, is a process that at the end of it results in the same. Did you understand?
I understand, yeah.
It's not like, it's like we said in the beginning, it's about all these paths that lead to the same thing.
All this path which leads to the summit.
Yes.
To the divine.
Exactly. And then to go back to the water spirits and the mermaids, and these are different types of, can I say, energies,
yeah,
right, that exist in dimensions that are around us, right? So spirit, when you become, or when you go back into spirit, we are just in a human form, right? But spirit takes on different forms and different for different reasons, right? And the reason can be that spirits, the spirits of the waters, for example, and the spirits of the skies, and the spirits of the land, and the spirit of the even fire, the different elements, I should say, all encompass a universal spirituality. Because remember, we also not only planetary. If to think that being human on earth is all that there is quite narrow-minded, right? And so these spirits, like when you take the plant medicine, it's these spirits needing to communicate to us in a way or a form that we can, like I'm saying, relate to.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you, I had a journey once in ayahuasca, where the plants asked me and said to me, can we use your body because we want to experience a human experience? And so I agreed. And on that journey, it was like I was just not me. They took over me.
Couldn't feel yourself.
I couldn't feel myself at all.
Sure.
So it also brings about the subject of oneness. How we are all one. All of us. And the things that we can see and we cannot see, and feel and cannot feel, are just different energy vibrations that we are trying to put into a context. We're trying to contextualize something. So when we say the spirit of the waters that looks like a mermaid, we're trying to contextualize it in our rationale. In fact, it's an energy that encompasses a certain persona, and that's it.
That's it. Sure. Well explained, man. And you went in deeper, and I like the explanation, because some of us, when you're dealing with these issues, we actually narrow-minded. We're not open-minded about this thing. You want to box it. You want to discriminate each other. No, how can you do this? Have you ever get as a resistance, especially here in South Africa, about especially on this journey, like you be like, no, a white person doing this. As Sky Joy, haven't you encountered such?
I do, of course, I encountered such.
People, maybe they get shocked, but and your beats, and like you pasha, and be like, because it's not a lot it's not always, especially in South Africa, you find a white person or in South Africa following our culture and like properly, not doing it for, because abanye you see, they say no, that a white sangoma, but you see that person, no, this person is doing it for maybe for the fame or something. But you, when I've watched your videos there, I saw that this person is into this, like wholeheartedly, like you seem to be loving it and enjoying it more than maybe others who says, who claim to be that, but when are you going all out, and
So here's the funniest thing, right? And I might, I don't know, I might
ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
Ruffle Mkhulu.
Firstly, I don't engage that, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I don't engage it is because I'm a great believer of not taking things personally.
Personally, yeah.
And not taking something personally makes me understand that every human is unique.
Yeah.
And they will all have a unique perception and a unique outlook and a unique thought and a unique whatever it is, it's unique.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I don't engage it. The only thing that I can engage is what spirituality means for me.
Yeah.
Right? And what spirituality means for me is that in order to get to the core, and this is for me, please, it's not a debatable thing.
Yeah.
It's for me. If you have it for you and you do what you want to do for you,
it's okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's okay.
And it works, amazing.
Yeah.
However, what it means for me is to actually lose yourself. Lose everything you've ever got to know or think you are. And then go to what they say, a point of nothingness. And from nothingness is only when you can now truly understand what works for you or not. Remember, spirituality is not about how amazing you can dress, or how amazing you can gita, or how amazing you can pashla and say the things that you do.
Yeah.
Spirituality does not happen in front of your eyes.
Jeez. Say that again.
Spirituality does not happen. And this is 101 of shamanism when you're training to be a healer. All of the regalia and everything that you're wearing is so that your client or the person in front of you feels comfortable with, okay, you know what, I feel comfortable now. But where the healing happens is beyond, it's in another world, it's beyond you. Yeah.
It's not you.
It's not you.
You are this vessel.
You are just the vessel. So when you speak to me about tradition, or you speak to me about culture, or you speak to me about, sure, if that's very important to you, I have absolutely no issues with it. That's very important to you. For me, the reason I'm doing it is not because I'm trying to encompass anybody else's culture
Yeah.
or anybody. I'm doing it because it works for me.
It's a personal journey.
It's like saying, how can a non-Arab be a Muslim? Why are you a black person and a Christian?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you delve into the history of Christianity, it was something that was originally taken from us and in Africa, and then it was repackaged, right?
Yeah.
So then you got to ask yourself all those questions. How can you got black people now that are Hindus?
Yeah. Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You will always have that debate within yourself when you see the cultural significance of something and not the spiritual.
Wow, that's so profound. Let's move on. I want us to speak about dreams.
Sure.
To you, what do dreams mean? Does everybody dream? What is the significance of dreams, visions, as a spiritual person?
So yes, of course, dreams have meaning, and they have a profound meaning. You know, spirit speaks symbolically. So I believe that dreams is your symbolic language that you need to learn how to interpret. Yeah. I also believe that it's something that you can learn to interpret on your own, because you've got so many people that want their dreams to be interpreted for different. Yes. And we've got to also, in a way, be careful of that.
It's quite dangerous.
Yeah, because somebody can. Because I also believe in what the Tolts believe, and the Tolts are a group of shamans, or a type of shamanism that believe in the spoken word, that believe in, as they would say, the power of manifestation. So if your dream really didn't mean what that you're asking that person to interpret for you, it might just turn out that that person puts it out there in the universe and it's going to be that way.
Sure. That's deep.
Yeah.
Fish. Yeah, that's bad.
So it's a very touchy thing, you know. If it is a dream that is really worrying you and pressing you, and you really need to know what this dream means because you're dreaming it constantly, sure. You know, if there's a dream that really disturbed you, write it down. Write it down at first so that you don't forget that you dreamt this. And keep writing it down. I'm a great believer in journaling.
Writing, yeah. But I've watched around on social media, one of the common things, especially about dreams, people tend to forget their dreams. Why is that the case? You find a person, no, Mkhulu, I dream, I'm a pooper. Then in the morning, boom, I forgot. Then that thing happens, then
Yes. So there's
Can people manipulate your dreams? In a spiritual realm, can dreams be manipulated?
Before I go into the manipulation of dreams, or even if I don't even really want to go there, you know, my first point of call is yourself. You know, what is the state that we're going to bed in? Yeah. If we engaging in energy exchange, by that I mean sexual intercourse, or we've been drinking and absorbing all the energies in the nightclubs. What are we doing when we come into the house? Are we going back? Are we just going to sleep? Are we bathing, cleansing, grounding ourselves with salt? You know.
Yeah.
Are we partnering? Are we asking? or praying like you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many levels to it. So before, I always say to people, before you go to anybody else, let's question
Start with
ourselves.
you. Oh yeah. Or sometimes you'll find that you're busy looking outside, but the problem lies with you. Maybe you're not doing all those things you spoke about. Bathing with the soul to ground yourself, pasha, and all. Before you sleep, then maybe you've attracted now bad energies. Then maybe those energies are the ones
Yes, 100%.
who actually those energy manufacture dreams.
And this
which
goes
are-
for all aspects, not only dreams, right? You go to Inyanga, you say, Inyanga tells you, you know what, these are the herbs you need to use, or says to you, this is the thing I'm picking up. Okay, fine. Firstly, are you doing what you've been told to do? Right? Secondly, because your healing is your own responsibility. It's nobody else's.
Not the shaman's responsibility or Inyanga's
No.
or Sangoma's responsibility.
No, it's your own. And so, are you doing the things that you've been told to do? Are you doing them properly? And then, in doing those things, are you also changing the way you've been doing things?
Yeah.
Or else you're just going to land up at the next Inyanga. And you're going to say, Mkhulu Ammer.
Or Anamanda, they like to say that Mkhulu Ammer doesn't have power or what, it's Umuthi wakhe awukho strong. What. So yeah.
Because that's just it. You know?
Sure.
How are you going to make a difference to yourself?
To become a better person. And you remind me about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where people need psychological need. There's a psychological need. There's a safety need. When you've gathered, you have the food, you have the shelter, then you have that safety need, then you have to have the self-esteem, to have the self-actualization, and on and on and on. So people...
But most importantly, with even Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right, is that we got to understand that nobody else can fulfill your needs.
You have to.
Yeah. Or else you're going to... Once you're fulfilling that need for yourself, you're not filling a void. You're not externalizing, like love. Let's say love.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Love and belonging.
Yeah.
It's there also on the Maslow's hierarchy.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
Let's take love. So, if you don't love yourself, right, you're going to seek that validation of this love in everybody else. So you're taking such a powerful emotion and you're going to put it in the hands of somebody else.
And that's a recipe for disaster.
It's not a recipe, it is a disaster. Because you can never do that.
Actually have to start with you.
100%.
The man on the mirror.
100%. And that is exactly what you're going to be presented with. A mirror. All relationships that you form is just a mirror for yourself.
Sure. And earlier we spoke about healing. Is it important for shamans, inyangas, izangoma, mediums to heal themselves?
It is vital, I believe.
Their traumas and stuff.
It is
before even
vital.
Attempting to
heal vital.
South Africa. No, I'm gonna heal South Africa, but you find the person
it is
a lot of
absolutely
trauma.
Vital.
The energy's been because energy is transferred.
I cannot stress how I believe that process is
Right.
first. Actually, it's first. Because when you ask other traditions, for example,
Yeah.
what the meaning or the true meaning of a shaman is, it is defined as the wounded healer.
Jeez. And it's not the first time I heard that. Basically, oh, a person who's with that and you are healing.
Yes.
You've experienced that pain, you've gone through all those things.
100%. Because the thing is, right, emotion is such a thing. And let's just take emotion. Is that you could have been harmed emotionally by something that society doesn't really deem so bad, right? But yet for you, it emotionally scars you so badly that it can also be relatable to an emotion that, let's say, somebody who lost their son, or somebody who was raped, or somebody, right? The emotion that those two people, maybe the symptom is not as bad as each other, the level that we put in society, right? But the emotional trauma I'm talking about can be measured on the same level in terms of the scar that it created for you. Yeah. Now, me as a healer, if I haven't explored that scar within myself and went through a journey of healing it, when there's a patient, or I should say, somebody sitting in front of me that goes, I need to know what I can do. I can't get over my rape. I need to get over the fact that my father was murdered in front of me. I need to. So everybody would go, oh, that is terrible.
Jeez.
What I would say is, okay, what are you feeling emotionally? So that we can emotionally connect. And my experience of healing my own scars, I'm able to not only sympathize, I'm able to then diagnose and help and build that person up the way that I have needed to build myself.
Yeah. Becomes easier.
Yes.
Jeez.
Not only that, right? I also say that reading your symbolic language, in which we have already established is what spirit speaks in, right? Reading your symbolic language comes from the understanding of self.
That's true.
So your communication with spirit or Lozi would become much stronger, and you're able to take yourself out of the way. Because once you with all this noise around you and your life is a noise yourself as a healer,
blocking things.
How are you? Yeah, I find it difficult. Maybe some other people may not. That's their journey. I speak for myself. I find it very difficult. I would find it extremely difficult because I'll be put